Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started. I'll just do a few administrative things, and you know what? I will do that with my video on. So hello, everybody. My name is Kara. I am coming to you live from my office in Florida. I'm wearing a flannel. We don't know why, since I'm in Florida and it's really warm. I guess I got to turn my air down. But anyway, nice to meet you. I'm the account manager here at Callbridge, and with me is Sarah. She's our customer success manager. She'll turn her video on too, so you can see her. She's actually in Toronto, so we're representing a few countries today. Like I had said before, if you weren't here, I'll repeat the instructions. If you want to chat with us, just hover on the right-hand side of your screen. And you will see a chat balloon. If you click on that chat balloon, you'll see some chats that we have going on in there now. You can type a question in. We're happy to take that question. Sarah can answer it while I'm talking, and I can answer it while she's talking. Everybody's muted today just because we want you to have the best experience. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. If something's urgent, raise your hands. There's not so many people here that we can't call on you, but just for now, we're going to go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned before, we are doing this webinar with kind of the loose topic of helping you bring in your business online, since you know, if that's whatever your business means to you. That could be, it could be a family reunion. It could be a one-on-one training sessions that you're having. You could be a consultant. You could be a fitness instructor. Maybe you're a teacher, so your classrooms are large. So whatever your business is that you now have to have online, because that's what we're all doing these days, we've got some suggestions that go along with the ebook that is in the chat if you want to download it. We're going to try to match up some of the features that we offer with some of the points in the book. The book does a great job of things that I can't help you with, which is like building your social presence and you know, how to get keywords and SEO and all that stuff. So please do read that. We're just going to highlight the features that we can on Callbridge that will help you with some of these online meetings that you now have to do. Some of the benefits to going online that I can think of: number one, you're open all the time. So if you want to, you know, have your meetings at 6 a.m. or midnight, or, you know, whatever is best for you, you can do that. You can have a global reach now, obviously, if people have a browser. So we are now compatible in Safari and Firefox, and all the mobile apps work well with screen sharing and video. You can view screen sharing, you can turn on your video. So no matter where people are in the world, they can get to you. So you can share your message, have your meetings with globally right now. So again, you have to define your audience. Is it one-to-one? If it's one-to-one, you probably don't need all these fancy things we're going to be talking to you about, like muting everybody and unmuting everybody and Q&A and raising hands and that type of thing. But if it's a one-to-many, you indeed might find those are the most important features that we're going to share with you today, because that will help you have a successful call. And that's really what it's all about. We want you to not even have to think about things at all, just share your message and be done, and not worry about the logistics. Some of the things that we just want to quickly highlight, they really don't have to do with the platform itself, but rather setting up setting yourself up for success with some good equipment. Some must-haves are an adequate and strong Wi-Fi signal. You don't need to be able to, you know, have your son streaming video games and also your kids on TikTok and also do all of these things. But we do need you to have decent bandwidth, because video does take up the most bandwidth. If you're going to be on video, you want to have a clear picture. You don't want to have lag. You don't want to have it go in and out. So we need you to support that with your bandwidth. We do the best we can to maintain our signal strength, but the last mile is up to you. So you do need to have that. I'm at home, obviously. I've got nothing but Frontier. It works great for me, but you need to decide what will work best for you. In terms of what you're using, if you're going to be doing professional meetings, whether that's small teams, collaboration, or large presentations, please have the equipment that makes the most sense for you. Cell phones are great. They're great for family chats. You can walk around your house. You can, see your grandparents, your kids on Zoom, but in the gallery style. But if you're doing it in a professional environment, it's really better to have a laptop where you can do more to control the settings, stay by your computer, stay focused on your screen. So please grab a laptop or a really good tablet and make sure they are fairly updated. You don't need to run out and buy a 2020 version, but make sure that all the systems and all of the versions are supported. So that's one tip. And the last two things that I'm going to preach at you about here is to have a good headset and a decent camera. This isn't about buying the most expensive piece of equipment. This headset I have here is $30 from Amazon Prime, and it works wonderfully for me. It is wired. I prefer that. Bluetooth can be problematic sometimes. So I prefer a wired headset for the best quality sound. And I just have a Logitech camera. It just plugs right into USB, and again, Amazon Prime. So it doesn't take a lot of money to set yourself up, but it does take some decent equipment. And we really do ask that you not do too much on speakerphone. Speakerphone is great because you're free and you can walk around, but it isn't the best sound quality at all. It never is. So please, find a headset and a microphone, and you'll be set up for a great meeting. So I'm going to share my screen now and really get to the parts of Callbridge, the platform itself, that can help you have a good meeting. So hopefully you guys can all see my screen. Oops, I want to get to my dashboard. Sorry about that. Let me just connect, and I'm now logged in as a user. So hopefully you've seen this interface and you've done some scheduling on it. If not, this is what it looks like. We have all of the things you can do here, which is to start the call, to schedule the call, to find dial-in numbers. You can see here we have a big list of dial-in numbers for you. So kind of all the meat and potatoes are right on this main page. But one of them that I want to point out to you right away is our connection test, because this kind of goes along with being prepared. We realize that nobody is an IT tech here, right? Probably not. You don't want to be responsible for having to maintain someone else's platform and troubleshoot for them. But the reality is, if you're holding the meeting, they're going to ask you that. So we have a connection test that you can access right from the menu. It also goes out with all of our invitations, so that link is as visible as it can possibly be to your attendees. If you click on it, you're going to click on this connection test, and it brings you to a separate page where you'll see a call diagnostic test, and it will start running you through a bunch of things. Now, I'll click on it. I won't do all of these because it'll start making some noise, but you can see here it'll check your microphone, your playback, your input, so your speakers, all of that. It'll even do a bandwidth test. And lastly, make sure that you can see yourself on video. So this is a great way for your participants to best prepare their systems before your call. So the more they can do before they jump into your call, the less you'll have to do on the front end, if that is something that they are going to ask you to do. A couple of the other great features we have can be found in our settings. So chime in, name, announce. Why is this important? Because this is going to either play like a ding. You might have heard that as you were waiting for people to come in when new people come in, or it will announce somebody's names when they're on the call. So if you're having a small teams meeting or one-on-one, certainly this is not interruptive. It's probably desired, so you'll know who's in the call and when people are on the call. If you've got a large webinar, 100 people, etc., you want to turn these off. You probably don't want those things playing over your speech, and you can save those settings. Keep in mind, the settings will take effect with your next call. So on my next call, I won't hear any chimes or name announce, and you can toggle those as needed. Your waiting room. So if I hadn't jumped on early, You guys would have all just heard a lovely playlist of custom hold music until I joined the call. That's the function of the waiting room. It makes sure that all participants are hearing music or silence, that's up to you, when before you join the call, so it doesn't allow the call to start. If for some reason you want the call to start without you joining, you can just turn this off, and that way the second person who joins the call connects it and everybody can talk before you get there. So again, that's kind of a just a decision on your end how you want that to work. Our moderator controls. This is one that we'll go over with, I'll go over with you a little bit in the live environment, but this is a preset for your moderator controls. Okay, so we have a kind of a mantra in our in our customer support group, and that's like, keep calm and mute all. Your best bet for a successful call with more than 4 participants, to be real honest with you, is to just make sure that that call is in either presentation mode, where you are controlling who is muted and unmuted, or at the very least question and answer mode, which automatically mutes everybody's line, leaving yours open as the moderator, but does allow people to unmute their own line if they have to, a contribution to make or a question or something. It lets them control. If you leave this on, just be prepared. You could have background noise that you don't want. If somebody has another speaker, double speakers, and they're throwing echo into your call, or if Amazon's coming and your dogs are barking or something like that, it's better to have all of the lines muted, unless of course people need to talk, and then allow them to unmute one by one. Something we're doing now, so Sarah's going to go over this in more detail. I just want to point it out quickly, is that you do have the ability to preset any recording options. So if you plan on recording your calls, you don't even have to remember to do it. You can actually check this off to automatically record, whether it's your online meeting or your just your audio. You can do either one. Well, if you just want the audio recorded, you can choose. You can also choose to automatically live stream it to YouTube. Again, Sarah's going to go over this. You want to do this if you've got a huge audience. Think thousands of people. You can actually do that via YouTube. It's without any extra effort on your part, other than clicking live stream and putting in a few pieces of information. And then, of course, your transcription summary, you can automatically do that as well. So this is really helpful. It sets that up for every single call going forward, so you don't have to remember, or in my case, forget to record the call. It's all there for you. Let's talk a little bit about muting in the call itself. So if you haven't set your presets and you start the call and everybody's lines are open and it's great for a while, but then you start to hear something, there's static, there's background noise, please just open up your chat bar, click on the participant tab and click mute all. That is the fastest and the best way to ensure that any noise that might be interfering with your call is shut down. That's going to fix your problems. Don't try to, say, who is that? Can you hang up, call back in? Go ahead and mute everybody. That's really going to be your best option. Now, participants can raise their hand. I don't know if you guys have found this, but it is in your top menu. So let's see, maybe Sarah, if you can find that, if you can raise your hand, that would allow you to have, Sarah might be a moderator and unable to raise your hand, so I apologize. But any participants can put their hands up, and they can then float to the top of the participant screen, so you'll see them right away, and then you'll be able to unmute them or call on them or what have you. So the raising hand icon is a very important feature as well. If you have callers that are dialed in, they can press *2 and raise their hand that way. Okay, I got a chat. So Susan's asking if you can mute individuals. So yes, you can. So if I want, let's say Ryan was being belligerent and making a lot of noise, I would be able to hover over him. You would see, let me just do that. I'll just do this. I'll unmute everybody. See how everybody's... See how we've got people and you can unmute one by one? that just took the noise right out of the way. So you did, you notice all the background noise, but you can pick and choose who you mute and unmute. So additionally, anybody who is unmuted and making noise will float to the top of the screen, so you'll see that as well. Thank you for asking. Sarah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to make noise so you could see me pop to the top.
Oh, okay. Well done. There you go. So yeah, so anybody it's more helpful if you've got like 50 people on the line, and you're trying to identify, where sound is coming from. If you haven't muted everybody, they will float to the top of the participant screen, like Sarah was saying. But it's great that she's unmuted, because I think I'll just stop talking and pass it over to her so she can talk a little bit about live streaming and show you that, it's a great feature.
Thank you, Cara. Yeah, I just wanted to share a little story before I go on to talk about live streaming. My daughter's teacher called this morning. He's phoning his students one by one because he feels like some of them are too they're not mature enough if he was to go on a video call. I just wanted to point out one thing is the security settings, because we do have this mute all option and having a one-time access code and locking. We've got quite a few options that make, so if you're teaching online or training, there are a lot of sort of security and locking features to help you with that. So the muting would be good for this teacher, so I need to send him a message about Callbridge. So but if you're teaching a large number of people, or you want to, I find for these webinars, it's also really easy for me to very quickly move everything onto YouTube, and then I can even do, snip the sides, the beginning if I want to, make some minor edits, and then really quickly publish to YouTube. And then also, if you're a church or something like that and you have your service on the weekend, it allows you, so if you were streaming directly through YouTube, you could only have one presenter. Whereas with Callbridge, it means you could have multiple presenters, and you can even share your screen. You could put up music lyrics, or you could put up a lesson PDF, and then have everything go to YouTube. So you've got the option for it to be live and public immediately, straight away, for a lot of people to see live, or you can have it so that what we've done now, it's live stream, but it's not public yet. So then we can go ahead and edit later, tweak a few things, and then publish it. So you've got a lot of different ways that you can make use of it. So let me share my screen and show you how you can get set up. So first of all, now Cara showed you within your Callbridge account where you turn these settings on. And I'm just going to go to a YouTube account to show you where you get some of those settings to pop into your Callbridge account. So first things first, you want to log in. If you've never done this before, I recommend doing a few run-throughs to feel comfortable, because it's a new sort of, first of all, is learning how to do video conferencing, but then on top of that, YouTube is a few hurdles to jump through. So I recommend testing it out. So the first time that you live stream, that you want to set up live streaming, you log into your account and you click on the little camera icon at the top with a plus, and then you hit go live. Now the first time you do this, it's going to bring you to a page. You can hit stream on the top left. It's going to bring you to this page where you can either schedule it for later, or you can create one ready to use right now. So I'll just call it test. I'm not going to make it public. I'm going to have it just for me to view for right now. So test description. You pick your category. You can schedule it for later, which I will do. Let's schedule it for next week. And then you can upload a thumbnail. So you have a little icon that everybody sees. Pick your audience. I tend to say not made for kids, because if it's really not targeted at children at all, then you avoid YouTube coming in and checking whether, because they have quite strict regulations. It doesn't mean it's going to be swearing and things like that. It just means that if it's not made for kids, it won't be visible in, there's like a children's YouTube. So it doesn't mean that there's content there that might be violent or anything like that. It just means that it's not really specifically targeted at children. And then hit create stream. So this is where you come to what's called the YouTube Studio. And there's a couple of things that you're going to need to pop in your Callbridge account. So that first one is this auto-generated key. You want to hit copy, and then you want to go to your Callbridge account. Oops, let me go here. And you want to go to the settings, recording and live streaming. And once you've enabled this, you pop your streaming key in there, and then take the stream URL, which I think we just hit the copy button. It's easier, pop that in there, and then make sure you hit save and ensure this YouTube icon here is enabled. So the other thing you want to check over here, I mean, there's lots of different settings, but if you want to have, so let's say every time you stream, you want it to automatically stream within YouTube, then you want to check this, enable auto start. If you want to have, and normally because there's a lot going on, you might want to have a second person that's managing YouTube, and then you're managing your Callbridge video conferencing. So that person during your live streaming might be here ready when you are all set. You've logged into your Callbridge meeting, you're just getting prepped up, you're all ready to go, and then it's time, and then someone hits start over here. If you don't want to do that, if you're alone doing your YouTube streaming, I would recommend hitting auto start. That makes it much easier. So the moment that you start, the online meeting begins recording in your Callbridge account, it will stream straight to YouTube and automatically begin live streaming in your YouTube account. Without that enabled, you'll see when the stream is connected and you've started your meeting in Callbridge, here up the top right, you'll need to hit go live. So if you've not enabled auto start, you'll need to manually hit go live over here in your YouTube account. Now, I'll just go back to your Callbridge settings. If you're automatically live streaming everything, then you want to make sure you're automatically recording the online meeting, and you've also checked automatically live stream. So that will mean every single meeting is the online meeting will be recorded, so video, screen sharing, and it will go direct to YouTube. And if you've set up auto start over here, every meeting you do is automatically streamed to YouTube. Now, if you don't want every meeting automatically streamed, then just make sure that you do not automatically record every meeting. Because if you're automatically recording the meeting, to be able to initiate YouTube live streaming, you'll have to stop the recording and restart it. So just make sure you do not automatically record every meeting if you'd like to manually start YouTube live streaming. So, but the most important thing here is that you have this enabled, because then when you are going to record, you're going to get the option. Let me show you here what it's going to look like. Here, you'll get the option when you hit record, then to live stream video at the same time. So I think I've covered all. Let me go. And there's a really good support article that I'll share, which goes over everything step by step. And yeah, that's it. And I'll hand it back to you, Cara.
Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. It might seem a little daunting, but it really is pretty intuitive, and you get all of this in like she said, a support article that we can share with you. I just want to show you one thing. because it's so cool to me. I really love the feature. Oops, I got to share my screen here. Hold on. We're talking a lot about recording in YouTube, but we didn't talk a lot about our transcription, our auto transcription bot Q. So while we're recording and live streaming, we've also asked Q to go in and do a transcription of the call. What that's going to do is to create a nice history of all of our meetings and make our dashboard really a library of all the calls that we've done. So for example, if I want to say, you know, did we talk about live streaming anywhere? I can type that in and it's going, that's my search bar. Sorry, I have a little search bar at the top of my dashboard. I typed in a word and it's going to bring up any time those words were said. So here where we have a live stream test call, where did we say that in the call? So some words sometimes that we actually mention that in the call when it's in the title. Now I can go and identify the exact call that I want to hone in on, like where were we talking about this? What did we say? I can click on that and it's going to take me to all of the details of the call. So who participated, how long were they on the call, our hashtag topic screen, hashtag topic cloud here. So really anything I need to know, including the recording, is in this call, is in this page. And I can even go to our transcript and jump in on the part that I want to know about. So I'm like, oh, this is definitely where somebody said something. So I can click on it and it's going to take me to that part of the recording. So it, you know what it prevents? It prevents this back, you know, rewind, fast forward. If you're just trying to find one part of a recording that you wanted to take some notes on, or, you know, give yourself a refresher, that's a great way to do that. And again, you can use that in conjunction with the recording feature and with Q, the transcription bot. So I just wanted to make sure to share that with you. So we are coming up on the half hour, which is our official ending point. Thank you all for joining. We hope this was useful. We've got some resources in the chat, as we have mentioned before. There is the link to that ebook. Sarah also just chatted that support article about live streaming, but you can find all of our support articles in the help section of the dashboard. Just click on help, it'll take you to the support center, or on the website we have the full library there. Those are great articles. They're very fast, they're easy, they're targeted, so that should be a good place for you to go for assistance as well. So thank you again for joining. We hope you found this valuable, and